Great. DHS warned in a memo obtained by CNN this week that the end of Title 42 will, quote, likely increase migration flows immediately into the U.S. So I'm wondering, how many migrants are you expecting to try and cross into the U.S. through the southern border next week? And is the administration prepared for this anticipated surge?
Let me play press secretary here. Okay, let me play press secretary. Great question. As of right now, what we're looking at from Border Patrol as well as DHS Secretary himself, the numbers are reporting anywhere from 7,000 to 15,000 on any given day. We understand this is a major issue, and ultimately we haven't been able to resolve it in the first 2 years. We're looking to have and work with Congress, especially Republicans, on filling in the missing border wall that's taking place all across the southern border. We've been in constant communication with Governor Greg Abbott as well as Governor Doug Ducey down there in Arizona to fill in those gaps, help them and support them in any way necessary, and try to get more funding along the border wall, as well as getting more security, more technology along the border wall so we can stop the influx of what's happening. And we also have plans for President Joe Biden to get on the podium, get in front of the American people as well as the rest of the world, and tell them to stop coming through the U.S.-Mexico border, that you're going to have to sit there and seek asylum in your own territory, in your own country. We can't handle it. Our localities can't handle it. And we're going to continue to move forward and work with Republicans, independents, whoever wants to take part in this initiative and stop this inflow of illegal immigration coming across the border. Do you think we can get that kind of answer? I literally just BS that off the top of my head. And it's probably going to be a better answer than what she's going to give here. And I don't even do that as a living. I'm not trying to sit there and give myself a pat on the back, but hell, I would never be White House press secretary. But if me as a knucklehead doing this in my closet can come up with some sort of answer like that, you think she could, that's getting paid $180,000 plus benefits to sit there and be the mouthpiece of the most powerful person in the world? Let's see how she answers it.
So look, we have an intensive all of government effort underway to prepare. As I was stating earlier when I was being asked a question by Mary, we'll have more to share ahead of the December 21st deadline. But in the meantime, DHS is surging resources to the border. As you've seen, as you're probably seeing in El Paso, I talked a little bit about this on Monday, where over the last 72 hours, they've moved thousands of individuals out of the city. They're doubling down on the...
Out of the city where, Karine? Where are you putting them? They don't have space down there. You got to put them somewhere. And we know for a fact, some of these people are being let out into the streets. Fox News covered that. The cameras caught this stuff. We're processing them, but we're letting them loose. Hope you come back. Have fun.
Anti-smuggling operations that the president launched months ago. They're also working with our international partners to discourage disorderly mass movements across the border. Moving forward, expect us to continue leaning in on our successful strategy.
Discouraging? We literally did a videotape like 2 or 3 days ago of Mexico police literally escorting 20 busloads of immigrants to the border. What are you talking about? What a bunch of lying, man.
Tragedies like these and like our parole program for Venezuela nationals, which has drastically reduced the number of Venezuelans attempting to enter unlawfully, and will continue to drive messaging in the region to counter disinformation from smugglers. So that's another thing that we have to keep an eye on, is how the misinformation that's going to be going out to smugglers in the next couple of days. And so we have to make sure we'll work together with all of you, our team will, to make sure that doesn't happen, because that is one.
You guys, this is so crazy. We got to focus on misinformation and disinformation of the smugglers. That's one of the components. I would like to point out the original question was, how many, do they have any estimates in terms of what the numbers are going to look like next week when this thing is donezo? She still hasn't answered it, by the way, which I answered it in my first sentence, about 7,000 to 15,000. She can't do it.
One of the big issues that we're seeing when it comes to migrants trying to cross the border.
Are you aware of this warning from DHS, and do you have an estimate of how many people you're expecting will try and cross the border when Title 42
Look,
goes
I
away?
don't have an estimate to share with you. What I can tell you is that Department of Homeland...
You guys, an average American here in his freaking closet can give you an estimate. Standing on the podium of the White House, I know I'm repeating myself, speaker for the leader of the free world, the most powerful country in human existence, can't give you an estimate, but an idiot in his closet can tell you 6,000 to 15,000 a day can do it. Not getting paid anything can do it. 180,000, zero. 180,000, zero. Idiot. Moron/idiot sometimes.
Homeland Security has put out a 6-point plan. As you all know, my Secretary Mayorkas was at the border just recently to talk about this plan, put out a statement. And so we are focused. We are focused and we are prepared. We will have more to share in the next coming days on this piece. But again, we have done the work from this administration by securing record funding, and we are asking Congress to act. We are not asking for political stunts. We continue to see political stunts from many Republicans out there, and that's not how we're going to fix this issue. They want to secure the border. We've been doing that work on our own, and
what? She's gonna say that they've been securing the border, that they've been doing that work on their own? I'm telling you, I told you off the get-go, right when we started the show, she's really leaning into it today. She don't give a two about what takes place because nobody's following up here. Nobody's calling her out on her BS, and it's frustrating. I sit there and try to advocate for these reporters, and I think I do a pretty good job because I like them, and I think they do a pretty good job most of the time, but we got to stop it here. It's been 2 years, okay? It's been 2 years of this crap. Can we just get some follow-ups here? Poke a little bit, okay? I'm not saying you got to be disrespectful, but can we just work as a unit here and like just a little bit more, just a little bit?
we're asking them to, hey, you know what? There's an immigration reform plan that the president put out on the first day. They should work with us and do this in a bipartisan way.
And it's an immigration reform plan that doesn't solve the issue. I would like to point that out. It doesn't solve what's happening at the southern border at all. Typical. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments below, folks. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.